Hey everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit. Happy New Year. I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm here to do another reading. This is going to be this full moon in Cancer, which is happening today where I am. Today is January 3rd, 2026. So we're going to take a look at, I'm going to pull some depths of the sea first because full moon in Cancer is going to be about like your emotions, emotional state. We're also entering into a new year, at least in the world where I am. And so we'll take a look at that. So for everyone, please, what do we need to know for this full moon in Cancer? We have rays of light illumination. So I feel like maybe some clarity is coming with this full moon, clarity for the new year, clarity for this season, whatever season you are in yourself. Something's going to be illuminated. Whoa, we have hurricane, restructuring. Yeah, so there's illumination of restructuring, and then we have masculine energy, confidence. So this is action. This is like Mars energy. So like action-oriented energy. So we're looking at, we have illumination, something's coming to light. We're going to be enlightened by something. It's going to cause us to restructure. So we're going to have to take action with whatever clarity that's coming in. We're being called to kind of take a look at how we had done things recently and or in the past and how we want to do things moving forward. And so we're going to be called to kind of like maybe change a little bit how we've done things. Now, when I say that, it doesn't have to be a huge change. You take it as it resonates. We have bottle confession. So I feel like there's communication for somebody coming into, and maybe this is possibly part of this illumination, this rays of light energy. We have seaweed conditions. So yeah, they're saying that there has to be, it's going to be like a divine timing when everything kind of aligns, when the universe is aligned. That's when this is all going to come in. So you could see it, people usually feel like full moon energy like up to 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, any time within that period. So I know that's pretty like non-specific, but I don't know everybody's situation. So I don't know exactly, how energy affects you if you're affected before or after. We have sharks, outside influences. Sharks are like another symbol of power, another kind of masculine symbol, masculine archetype. So we're looking at, taking that action. Again, I'm not surprised that it came out under restructuring because, as I was mentioning before, we're going to take time to restructure once we get this clarity. This clarity is coming in divine timing. We're going to be enlightened by something. The illusions are going to be removed and we're going to see things for what they really are. And then we're going to be called to restructure and take action. We have cocktail intoxication. So I feel like this could be very intense. Like intoxication can be intense. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be like using substances or using drugs. It could be that. But what I'm getting more from this is that with this energy, it's going to be this very intense masculine energy. So very intense Mars energy. Very, it's this call to action. It's this call to arms. Like how are you going to respond to this kind of thing? That's kind of what we're seeing here. Let's see, what else do we have? Sailboat, stay the course. Yeah, so they're saying don't let this like intimidate you. Masculine energy can be a little bit intimidating sometimes, just because it is very like power. There's a lot of power that comes behind it with that Mars energy. And then we have island estrangement. So this could leave you feeling a little bit isolated, a little bit maybe like you don't know what you're doing or you're confused about something. But I do see, there's communication. And so they're saying, don't let it throw you off track. So make sure that like you're staying aligned, make sure that like whatever is illuminating here, that you're restructuring the way that you need to restructure, that you're moving things around the way that you want to. A lot of action, a lot of momentum here. So I feel like this is really a time to like really take those steps that you've been maybe putting off. Maybe there's, you know, something that you've been really like, oh, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And I mean, there's no better time than the new year, right? Like just keep the mindset, stay the course, eye on the prize kind of thing, right? And it could feel a little bit isolating, but I feel like overall, whatever clarity is coming in, you are going to be removing some obstacles with that clarity. Because a lot of times when we get clarity, we remove those illusions, which can be obstacles. So that's awesome for right now. Let's see what the tarot has to say, of course. And oops. All right. So let's see what what does the tarot say for everybody for this full moon in Cancer? What does everybody really need to know? What are we needing to know? What is the big messages? What are the big messages for everybody? All right. All right, we have the Queen of Swords, and I'll probably just lay these out and then I'll go over them with you guys. What else for everybody for this full moon in Cancer? We have the Four of Wands. We have the Hermit. Hermit. What else for everybody for this full moon in Cancer, please? We have the Five of Wands. And we have the Five of Pentacles. Those came out together, so maybe some struggle and change, maybe some struggle with the changes, any changes. What else do we have for everybody for this full moon in Cancer, please? We have Queen of Wands. You guys can see that those are in frame, right? Yeah, okay. Six of Swords. Oh, as I drop it on the floor, sorry. Six of Swords. And then what else do we have for this full moon in Cancer for everybody, please? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, that's a good one to end on. All right, so we have, and then we have the Nine of Swords on the back. All right, so what am I getting from this? Definitely changes, because we saw that with the fives there. Here, let me move this over so it's easier, sorry. So I saw that with the fives, but then with the Wheel of Fortune, that just kind of like confirmed everything for me. So yeah, there's changes and it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for some people. For some of you, it'll be a struggle. I do see a need for direct pointed communication with the Queen of Swords here. This is sort of surrounding, there is like a lack mentality that I think needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed directly. It needs to be addressed explicitly, directly. I think there's some sort of like mystery still to this, and I think that like somebody just needs to kind of cut through it and kind of get to the bottom of what is happening and why. That'll help you with this lack mentality. I do feel like also there could be possible throat chakra blockage for somebody, like you're not feeling like you can say what you need to say. You're not feeling like people are hearing you or listening to you with what you need to say, or what needs to be said. But I do feel like there's a lot of stability in the energy, and this energy comes from you. You are here in your power. So you need to take control of this energy. So that's why, you know, part of taking control of your energy is taking control of that communication. Now I do have two queens, so I feel like there could be two parts of you that are split, that aren't agreeing on things. So for example, it looks like maybe your thoughts might not be aligning with your actions. So that needs to be something where the lack could come from that. So really paying attention to that because you do have stability. Your actions are showing stability. You need to match your thoughts, your words, your communication with the stability. Um, but I do see also there's some healing that's happening here. There's a need for you to go within and introspect. What are you thinking about? Well, they want you to think and really contemplate, really think deeply, not just like, a passing thought or anything, but really think deeply, long and hard about what you need to move away from so that you can have the opportunities that you want. Because with this lack, there's something here that's holding you back here. And this could be something in your physical world because the Five of Pentacles is a physical world card. So it feels like maybe it could be like related to a job or to a home or something where that provides stability for you. And it'll be different for everyone. So you need to move away from that because it's not working for you. Look, we have the full moon, the cycle's completed. And so they're wanting you to like really go within and take what works. Keeping your peace, right? Holding on to your peace and figuring out, how do I move away from this? How do I communicate with people? How do I take action and create the world that I want for myself, create the life that I want for myself, without letting the chaos kind of infiltrate. So that's kind of where you're at. We have the Five of Wands here, so that tells me that there's some struggle with the energy. I feel like it's struggle around you. I feel like there's people around you who are maybe like being argumentative or not working with you. There's people here who aren't for you. And so you need to, part of, moving away from what isn't working, moving away with the Six of Swords from what isn't working, moving away from this Five of Pentacles with what isn't working, moving away from this energy is really putting yourself in a position where that's why they want you to go in the hermit energy, because this is like getting clear in your thoughts. The hermit energy, that's going to be Mercury energy. So that's going to be like getting really clear about what your values are, what you believe, what you're thinking, and how you can like make that become reality with the Queen of Wands here. And the Wheel of Fortune is saying that you have opportunities. We have Jupiter energy here. We have Sagittarius. So we have Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius are the big ones I have, but I pretty much have every sign here. Um, and this Wheel of Fortune is going to, they're saying that like the universe has your back, but you need to be careful about who you're listening to, what you're listening to, how you're acting on things, and aligning your actions with your thoughts and your communication. And then we have the Knight of Swords on the back. So you're feeling a lot of anxiety about this. I feel like you've been keeping up at night. I feel like it's just because changes are hard, right? Everybody struggles with changes. So I'm not surprised to see, but the fact that the Five of Wands and Five of Pentacles came out together, that tells me that like, you are really struggling in your energy, in your physical stability, feeling like you're going to be able to do it. So I feel like there's something here where you need to move away, but you're like, I don't want to lose my stability. And they're saying you're not going to lose your stability because look, we have the Four of Wands here, but you're kind of in your head about it. Let's see what's under that Page of Swords. Yeah, so needing to like do your research, making sure that you are paying attention to your communication, that kind of thing. And I feel like too, whoever this is resonating for, you've kind of maybe been through a lot in life. Like maybe you have lost a home or you have lost something that gave you a job, something that gave you stability. It doesn't have to be that in particular. Those are just two examples. But I'm kind of getting that with the Queen of Swords and the Five of Pentacles here. Let's see what else. Let's see if we can clarify and see if there's anything else that comes out for this full moon in Cancer. What is this Queen of Swords energy for everyone? Oh. We have the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Cups. So two eights. That could be important. 8-8. So what I'm seeing is somebody feels stuck needing to move away from something. Again, we're just going to get repeating messages. What does this have to do with the Queen of Swords? Well, this has to do with, like I was saying, you have been through something, which is probably why you feel stuck. You're afraid of losing something, which is probably why you feel stuck, but you're being called to move on from something because this is not where you're supposed to be. This is not your end all be all. This is not where you're supposed to end up. I had the tower on the back there, but um, so yeah, that's kind of that's kind of what they're saying. What is this Four of Wands energy for everybody, please? Um, Four of Cups. Yeah, so stable. You are stable in your energy, in your emotions. You don't feel it though. Why? Because you're in your head with the Eight of Swords and you're in your emotions with the Four of Cups. This is like complacency. You're like, what? This isn't real. I'm not gonna get this. This is just a pipe dream. No, they're telling you it's real, but you have to get out of your head. You have to kind of get out of this place of like not accepting and not receiving here in this Four of Cups. And that's when the magic will happen. What is the Hermit here for, please? We have Ten of Swords. Yeah, so I feel like healing because there's been a painful ending or there's going to be a painful ending. Maybe this ending, whatever you have to leave behind with the Six of Swords, is something that's really going to cause a lot of pain. Like it's really going to be something that maybe that's where the fear comes. You're like, I'm losing my stability, I'm losing my energy, I'm losing my I've lost my marbles, that kind of thing. Maybe that's where it's coming in. And so maybe, they're saying that's why you have to go in with the hermit. Really, you're doing some healing, like this introspection. The hermit is like a healer. The hermit is somebody who like goes within to heal themselves so that they can manifest what they want within the physical world. And I think it's interesting that the two arcana we have the 9 to the 10, which is really interesting because 2025 was a 9 year and 2026 is a 1 or a 10 year. So we're calling it a 1 though. So it's like, this cycle's completed with this moon. It's time to move on. And maybe there were things in 2025 that were very painful and you had to heal from them. And part of your healing is being like, okay, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to have faith in the universe. And I know I've talked about that before, and it's like faith is so much easier to say than do, right? It's easier to think about it. It's easier in theory, right, than it is in practice. But they're calling you to have faith because they're like, look what I got for you. I have this whole opportunity. I have all these opportunities for you. All you have to do is spin this wheel. What is this Five of Wands for everybody? We have the Four of Wands. Yeah. So they're saying again, like there's people around you, something around you, energies around you. It doesn't have to be people. I'm just saying that because that's the easiest one for people. Oh, sorry, excuse me. For people to understand. But it's really like you are stable in your energy because we have the Four of Wands twice now. So this is like, what do you need to move away from? Who do you need to move away from to kind of gain your bearings back? What is this Five of Pentacles for everybody? What is this Five of Pentacles for everybody? We have the Hierophant, so another five, a big five. So yeah, this is about your stability again. This is about your value system. This is about your beliefs. So here's something where I'm telling you, the Queen of Swords, she's like, I don't feel like I can be heard. Like my values aren't appreciated here. I have different values, but if I leave this, I'm in my head about this. If I leave this, then I am going to be, totally just out in the cold. Like I'm not gonna have it's like worst case scenarios. Like I might not have a place to live. I might not have a job. I might not. No, you need to go. The Hierophant's like, you have opportunities here. See, we have opportunities with those keys. Do you see those keys? And he's saying like, get out of your head. You know what you need to do. You need to move on from this. You need to take your wisdom with the Queen of Swords here, and you need to figure out what your values are. Use your wisdom and your values to get yourself to move out of here with this Eight of Cups. And again, it's one of those things. It's like easier in theory than in practice, right? What is this Queen of Wands energy for everybody? We have Six of Swords again. Yeah, you got to take hold of your energy. You got to take action on something. What do you got to take action on? They want you to move away from emotions that aren't serving you. Remember, we had that, what was it? Enlightenment, or what did they call it in the, what did they call it? Rays of light illumination. We had that one. And they're saying like this is part of that epiphany. It's kind of like that epiphany oh shit moment, right? That I always talk about where it's like, oh my God, I know what I need to do, but this is so scary and it's so hard. I don't know if I can do it. And you have to kind of like muster that courage. So that's what they're asking. They're like, with the Queen of Wands, she's an action-oriented lady. She makes shit happen, right? She gets it done. She knows how to like harness her energy. So they're saying like, you are stable. You are stable. Stability, stability, stability. But you need to move away from something. Move away, move away, move away. We got to move away from something. We got to move away from these thoughts that aren't serving us. We got to move away from these people and this situation that isn't serving us, that isn't for us. And so they're asking, like, you got to take action with the Queen of Wands. It's like, you got to take action. Yes, you're stable and you will be stable and you are stable, but you have to take action on this. What is this Six of Swords energy for everybody? We have Two of Wands. Yeah, so it's a choice. It's like, should I stay or should I go kind of thing. Um, and so it's kind of like, you know what one side of that looks like, right? Because you've been there. Should I stay? You've been in that. That's comfortable, right? But this is like getting out of your comfort zone. Now you got to get out of your comfort zone. Oh man, I got to like stop listening to these thoughts that are telling me I'm stuck. I got to stop listening to these thoughts, at 2 a.m. or whatever. Um, and it's kind of like, I think this pain is holding you back because you're afraid to have more pain. Because like sometimes, when we experience things that are really painful or we've had similar experiences, and the Queen of Swords knows this because she's probably experienced something like this. And so she's like, part of that protection is an ego defense mechanism where it's like, I don't want to feel that pain anymore. So I'm just not gonna do it. I don't need to make a decision, and they're saying no, 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 no. Keep doing it. So what is this Wheel of Fortune here for, please? We have the Five of Cups. Yeah, so a little bit of disappointment. Like, again, what was I saying just now earlier? It was like, you're moving on, having faith that the universe has your back, moving on from these people, even though it's comfortable, you know, just because something's comfortable doesn't mean that it's for us or it's the best for us. And so this is like, you have to recognize that like there is going to be some grief and loss. There is going to be some disappointment when you move away from things that have been comfortable in the past, but they're asking you to get out of your comfort zone because Jupiter energy is all about like opportunity. It's all about expanding yourself. So it's going to be like expanding your consciousness, expanding your it's basically like a growth process, right? Like you're learning new skills and new things so that you can be the best person that you possibly can. We have the devil on the back. Yeah. I feel like this anxiety, these thoughts, this Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, Six of Swords energy and 10 of Swords energy is really like you are in your head, and it's to a point where it's like obsessive, like where it's like, I really want to do this, but I don't know if I can. Like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I should. They're saying, yeah, you can and you should. And so where are you going to find that? Well, you can find it going within with the Hermit. You can find it with the Hierophant, which is your values, this is Taurus, Venus energy. So giving yourself that love, giving yourself enough love to sit there, to meditate on it, to think about it, to process it, to be like, hey, what is it that I really want? What is it that'll really make me happy and stable? And how do I, take action towards that? And so part of that is like you're gonna have to let go of some of these like harder emotions. These thoughts are kind of playing with your emotions and telling you things that aren't necessarily, I mean, it's not that they're not real, but it's not that they're like emotions kind of flow through us, right? So this anxiety and stuff is really kind of giving you this emotional space where you're either kind of checking out with this Four of Cups, or you're really having a lot of grief and pain with this Five of Cups and Ten of Swords. And that's kind of where this obsession is. There's something here that you need to let go. So I think it's letting go of these thoughts for one thing, is letting go of these emotions. And there could be something there could be some sort of like person situation in your immediate environment that is like maybe it's been comfortable because you've been there for so long, but it's over. It's done. This needs to wrap up. This needs to go. We're going from 9 to 1. We need to close this out, right? So, oh my goodness. That was a lot. That was a lot, but it's good. And I know that was pretty intense, pretty heavy. Let's see if there's anything else that comes out. We'll take, I'll take these Soul Symphony cards. So maybe you can get some confirmation if this is your story. I mean, it should be resonating. Tarot, you guys, these readings you should already like have some sort of intuitive knowing of this, and this should just reinforce or just, give you validation for what you already know. It should never be, it's not really, you guys have all the answers because it's your life. This is just like a helpful guide to help you, know if you're on the right track. So let's just get a few more for confirmation. What else does everyone need to know for this full moon in Cancer, please? Oh my gosh, I'm just dropping cards. Ooh, I got pregnancy test, entrapment, conceiving, mother figure. So be careful if you are resonating for this. One thing that came out for me with this is like if if there's a situation you need to leave and I don't know, this could resonate for somebody. There could be somebody who might be trying to keep you there, by means of getting pregnant. That could go either way, all which ways. If it's not that for you, because not everybody's getting pregnant or wanting to be pregnant or having this situation, this could be more like the Empress energy. This could be more like, conceiving an idea or having some inspiration. This could be about that one card we got, the enlightening card, the rays of light that I got. This could be, yeah, rays of light, the illumination. So there could be something, where there's illumination, or it could be like your overall abundance is connected to this, like as in the Empress. And so taking hold of, your power and being um, the loving, nurturing individual that you are. What else do we have for everybody? What else do we need to know? We have regrets. We have blamable, being distant, guilty, feeling ashamed. Yeah, so this is these thoughts and these emotions that I was telling you. Maybe there's some sort of trauma associated, because usually shame is associated with trauma. So maybe there's some sort of association with trauma, and maybe that's why it's so hard. Maybe that's why it's so hard. You have not only the comfortability of being in this pattern for so long, but you've also like learned how to adapt by your thoughts and your emotions in this environment. And maybe that's why it doesn't feel, maybe that's why you're like, well, it's not as bad as I think, and it's like, no, it is, but you need to recognize, that it's not shameful to want something more, or to want to, not be in a horrible, awful situation. Like, and maybe this is part of where that pain is coming from, or where that anxiety is coming from also. What else do we have for everybody for this full moon in Cancer, please? We have guarded, past trauma, building up walls, defensive, blocked heart chakra. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't make this up. So yeah, I do feel like you're guarded. Why? Because you have all this anxiety. I feel like, so maybe there is past trauma, just because we got kind of like the confirmation here with that one. Maybe there is something about past trauma. I feel like there's an opportunity for something new. Like I said, this doesn't necessarily have to be about physical pregnancy. Now, that is a caution for maybe like one person. I don't know. That could be a thing. So just be careful with that. But for For others, it could just be, this is like you conceiving, this is like planting a seed, like having, it's like the birth of an idea. It's like having this idea, having this inspiration. Because we got that Queen of Wands. And then we have heartstrings. On the back, it says mind games, taking advantage, playing with feelings, string along. So yeah, I do feel like, I don't know if this is resonating, and I'm sorry, but it's like somebody here is struggling with some sort of environment that I would say is toxic. And that's why they're saying you need to look at your values. You need to go in within with the hermit and figure all that stuff out. I do feel like it's going to be illuminated just because we have that card with the illumination. Um, but yeah. And there's something here about, remember we got the masculine energy and the shark, and that's kind of like taking your power back. So the shark could also be power as far as like the Queen of Wands. So maybe like something about like taking hold of your power or taking action with your power. That's kind of what I'm getting with that. And then stay the course. Remember we got stay the course, masculine energy. Hurricane needing to restructure. So yeah, there's going to be a storm, right? There's always a storm before there's uh calm, right? And that's usually the conditions of things. So I do feel like maybe for whoever's resonating, I'm sorry this is happening, but I feel like it's good because again, we're moving from that 9 to that 1. And I think it's saying it's time for this to happen and it's probably long overdue. So I wish you luck, but let me know if this resonates. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys have a great full moon. Thank you guys so much for stopping by.